Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so this is my first, welcome to live chat. Okay, this is my first time live streaming. Oh, my thumb's all over the thing. I am literally live streaming from carpool, waiting to pick up my son. But the thing is, it's my birthday weekend, so it's birthday behavior. I am likely going to be offline from 6:30 tonight until, probably Monday, maybe Sunday or Monday. I might pop in and out, but my birthday is Sunday. My friends are coming in town to celebrate my 40th birthday with me, and I really wanted to do this live. I've been meaning to get this live out all week long, and this is really my only time to do it, in carpool to pick up my son. So hello, 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 hello. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I don't know where chat is here. Thank you, Erica. Well, I guess it just pops up, huh? Let's see. Oh, okay. This is how it works. All right, perfect. So again, I've never done this. You see the wheel here. I've never done this from the car. The couple of times I've lived, I've always done it from the computer. But like I said, I wanted to get this out. So I guess this is like in celebration of my 40th birthday, which is Sunday. I want to share with you guys yes, my 40th. Yes, listen, life is like really just about to pop, even though I've lived an amazing life. I just feel like Stephanie in her 40s is about to shut stuff down. Do you hear me? Like, I am feeling so good. I'm really excited. I'm not usually super excited about my birthday. Not like I have a problem with aging or anything, but that's a whole other story. I'm actually really excited. I have no idea what I'm doing. My friends are like, I have friends flying in town, driving in town, and all I know is they said be packed and ready to go at 6:30. We've already made arrangements for your son. So that's all I know. I actually have no idea what's happening for my birthday. Like, not a freaking clue. And this is also me relinquishing and releasing control, right? Like, sometimes we have control issues we don't want to admit. This is me relinquishing control and trusting that my friends love me. The universe has my back. Everything's going to be amazing. So I'm just kind of riding with it. Like, whatever happens, happens. They know me. They know what I don't like, what I do like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, anyway, so my gift to you for my 40th is I want to share with you what needed to change in order for me to manifest my first $1 million. So those of you who have been following me for a while, if you've been following me outside of YouTube, I just recently came to YouTube a few months ago. But if you've been following me before that, you already know I've been an entrepreneur since 2009. It was my third year in business when I hit $1 million, and things have just gone and gone and gone since then. And so I didn't want to do like a traditional business live stream where people are like, this is what you need for your first $1 million. Because one thing that I know as the manifesting powerhouse that I am, that you are, being in touch with your God self, being in touch with that power that exists within you, is that the strategy doesn't matter. What you do doesn't matter. What matters is who you are. And so I just want to come and talk to you about what needed to shift within me in order to reach my first $1 million, how I had to start thinking differently, moving differently, acting differently, and then how that process has increased. Now, what really triggered this is, you guys know, like within my actual day business, my business, I teach subconscious reprogramming, and I have a school called the School of Quantum Living. So I went live today over on Facebook talking about your relationship with money, right? Your relationship with money is an energetic relationship. That's a workshop that I'm teaching this month inside of the school. And so I did a live because the registration closes on that on tomorrow. I know I won't be around tomorrow. So I went live talking about that, right? And then I was thinking, while I'm talking about relationship with money, like, let me just do another live over on YouTube so I could have a conversation about this, because yeah, my relationship with money had to change, but who I am had to change. So, all right. My arm's a little tired already. Yeah, I'm too early. We just got on live. How my arm tired already? All right, we need to look. Okay, that might be cute. Y'all see how it leans? Okay, anyway, pay me no mind. So, to be very transparent with you, I didn't make a goal. You know how people are like, this is my money goal. I didn't make a money goal to make $1 million the year I made $1 million. To be very transparent, I did what we call a quantum leap. I went from I did several. I went from a consistent, say, $4,000 a month in business to like 3 months later, it was 12,000. And then I skipped from 12,000 a month to like $40,000 a month. And it continued rising from there. The year that I hit a million, I think I had been kind of, I would say, stuck at 300 for a while. And I really was like, let me just break a $500,000. Let me break a $500,000. And also let me add, you know what, y'all, I'm in this carpool line. I told y'all I'm in a carpool line to pick my kid up. These people, when they trying to parallel park, how y'all teaching y'all kids how to drive when y'all don't even know how to parallel park wheel? Anyway, I'm trying to stay focused on y'all. They won't hit the car. They're not gonna hit me. We're not gonna worry about it. Anyway, so one of the things that was consistent, I'm gonna give you two things. The thing that was consistent from me making my first 100K that I also did with my first million, and then the shift that happens in the first million. That works for you guys? Okay. So in the first 100K, and I still do this now, okay? So this never changes. I absolutely sit with the truth that I have to have a good relationship with money. I understood, thank you for the birthday wishes, guys. I understood early on that I had a screwed up relationship with money. Like, I absolutely didn't feel like money would be there for me. I remember even working in corporate America, like even in my working life, I would get paid and I had a really great salary and an amazing bonus. I would pay my rent, y'all. And I guess because of my triggers or my trauma from the past around like not having rent money, as soon as I pay my rent for 1 month, I would be worried about my rent for the next month. I had constant fear really about like, am I going to have enough money? And at the time, my son was small too. So with my son being small, I'm paying for daycare. Y'all know daycare has never been cheap. I remember even then, my son is 15. I was paying $200 a week for daycare. That's $800 a month. That's a lot for daycare, right? And so I remember being in constant fear of like not having enough money. I didn't trust that money was going to be there. I was very connected to, you had to work extremely hard for money. I was just very connected to that. And so one of the things that I recognized early on, and no one told me, it was almost like you guys, the count of the people who are live went to 0. Is anyone on here? Okay, you guys are still on here talking. Okay, well, let me not pay attention to the count then. I'm like, I don't know, I guess because we're on the phone. But I recognized that I had so much fear and trauma around money that I could never really let money in the way I needed to if I didn't work on the relationship with money. So I had to get clear on the fact that my relationship with money was about trusting me. It was about trusting myself. Thank y'all for letting me know you here, because I'm like, where the hell everybody is? It said one person, then it said 0. I'm like, is it just me? We just out here? Okay, good. So, you know, I had to get clear on the fact that what was really happening is I didn't trust money because I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust in my ability to consistently bring in money. This was way before I understood that God lives in me as me. This was when I was, you know, still a minister of the church, in the front, laying hands, blah, 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 blah. You know, that was still that version of Stephanie, right? And I had to get clear that I didn't trust my own ability to make money and why that was. So first thing is I had to really start saying affirmations and getting it buried into my brain, into my mind, into my conscious and my subconscious, that everything was available to me. That I won't go without, that I don't go without, that all of my needs, and I'm gonna tell you, at the point I was at that time, I was not, you know, like now I talk a lot about desires, go after what you desire. But see, I've been doing this work a long time. At that time, I wasn't there yet. It was like all my needs are taken care of. I didn't even care about the wants yet. Can I just get my needs? Can I make sure I can pay my rent? Can I make sure I can pay my utilities? Can I make sure I can feed my baby and pay daycare and not be late for daycare and, you know, pay my car note and pay my car insurance and fucking have gas? Can I have gas money? So like at that point, I was still in like a need base, right? Whereas now, thank you so much. How do you stay positive? How do you stay positive? Let me answer this real quick because I'm going to forget to come back to it. How do you stay positive when you're expecting it to come and you constantly see opportunities? Fuck. How you get it back? How do you stay positive and constantly see opportunities that it could come, but it doesn't? Get your focus off the fact that it doesn't. It's already there. Sit in the fact that it's already there. You have to. You cannot get frustrated that it's not there, because as soon as you get frustrated that it's not there, you have completely shifted your energy, completely shifted your frequency, your vibration from the actual space of what you desire. And so as soon as you do that, you've given the thing that you don't desire permission to stay. Think of it like that. Every time you get frustrated or focus on what you don't want, you've given it permission to stay. Your energy is permission. Your attention is permission. So you don't get what you want because that's not what you're putting your focus on. When you focus on that, you give it permission. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. So yeah, so basically, yeah, survival mode. I just wanted to survive. Again, now I think just because I've been here so long, I talk a lot about like the desires, like, yeah, let's go get all the things we want. But at that point, baby, Stephanie just wanted to survive out here in these streets and be able to take care of her baby and like not have to keep moving home with my mama and, you know, not accepting like, listen, that was serious, right? You're welcome, boo. So the first thing I had to do was start giving myself a new thought process. And so I didn't even really know anything about affirmations, but you know how you just know a knowing? I knew I had to tell myself a different story. I didn't know what an affirmation was at that time. And I started walking around talking about, I always have money. Money takes care of me. Money is always available to me. And at the time, I wasn't making six figures yet. I was only making probably like $45,000 on my job. And I really got into this space of saying that. And y'all know I lost my damn job. When I got really clear in the line that money was always available for me, that I was able to pay my bills easily and effortlessly, and the more I said it, I lost my job. Y'all know what happens with that. Okay, you are already in a space where you're just trying to survive. You decide I want something new. So in order to get to something new, you got to move to some old out the way. But I don't think I really knew that at the time. And what I did not realize is that I was losing my job because in order to get to that space, I couldn't be at that job. Does that make sense? In order to get to that new space, I couldn't be where I was. See, this thing say 0 people here again, but I'm going to trust y'all here. 0 people, 0 people here. They know they lying. I know. Thank you, Miss Reed. Abundant one. Okay, good. All right. So lost my job. Now I'm down to 0 and I got to go back home again. And I was like, oh my God, this is not working. This is not working. This is not working. Stick with me, guys. So ended up moving back home to my mama. And then I decided, broke as hell, to move to Dallas. That was before the Dallas story hit. Me meeting the angel, who I think she's an angel. A lot of people don't, but I think she was an angel the way she showed up and blessed my life. And I learned so much from her. And then I ended up meeting my spiritual mother. Her name is Mama Jean. Mama Jean was the first person to refer to me 2 books, The Game of Life and How to Play It, and the 4 agreements, the 5 agreements, the damn agreements, okay, by Ruiz. Just look up the agreements. It had to be the 4 agreements because it's another book called The 5th Agreement. So it's the 4 agreements. But out of the 2, the one I resonated with the most was The Game of Life and How to Play It. You guys know I talk about it all the time. So remember this. I want you to stay focused. I started affirming. I started getting real clear to clear up my money wounds. And then I lose my damn job. Anybody in that position would do what most of you do and say, this isn't working. I don't know what's wrong. And I did have those moments, but for some reason, I still held on. For some reason, I still had faith. Miguel Ruiz. That's it. Okay, thank y'all. Listen, I screw up a name. You know who I'm talking about. So I had those moments, but I still had a sense of knowing that it wasn't meant for me to struggle. Like, the truth is, I didn't grow up struggling. I didn't know how I went from like a decent life, a middle class life, to like now, what the heck is, I didn't even know what was going on. Like, why does it feel like my life is turning into this, right? Like, where did I make a wrong turn? Where did I make a wrong decision? Like, I went through a lot of that. So lose the job, home with my mama, decide to move to Dallas all within like a month. Moved to Dallas, met the angel, met Mama Jean. Mama Jean tells me about the book. go through the book. All of a sudden, I'm obsessed. And now I'm like, oh, so this that I've been doing, telling myself about money, this is really pushing me towards like the life I want. Like it started to kind of line up. It's like intuitively, I knew that I had this power in to speak it, even though once I started speaking it, it felt like my life fell apart. After Dallas, y'all know everything started to come together. And Dallas was when I decided what business I wanted. I started my new business. And after Dallas, I want to say it was 4 months later that I hit my first 100,000. I say that to say, first lesson is most people panic when they start doing this work and shit starts falling apart. Most people panic because you don't really trust. Most people panic and go to what they know, which is their security. And one of the things that I like to say is you have to know who your source is. Your job is not your source. If you work for yourself, your clients are not your source. Your customers are not your source. You need to know who your source is. You need to know where that power coming from, right? And when you're very clear on that, that makes everything else much easier. Baby, she's shopping her leopard, girl. You better in that leopard at the carpool line. This is what I do all day, y'all, at the carpool line. I people watch. Baby, she is sharp like it's freezing outside. Girl, that coat is cute, girl. I won't act like this in the carpool line and let the window down around all these other parents act like that. But this coat, y'all see that little leopard? Hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Shh, get in the car. She cute, girl. Anyway, see, this is how I get distracted. When people be like, why you don't go live more often from other places? Because I get distracted. Okay, I'm back. All right, so we have to realize that oftentimes our life will fall apart, but it's not actually falling apart. We have to rid ourselves of the things that don't serve us. And most of the time we won't get rid of it on our own. Most of the time it has to be taken from us. Most of the time we have to be in a position where we're forced to, because we think our security is in the thing. And so that's how you end up losing your job. You lose your husband, you lose your wife, you lose the thing that you think is secure, because it forces you into the place that you need to be for the very thing that you're claiming, affirming, and saying that you desire. You guys get what I'm saying? So the first thing I had to do was start fixing that relationship with money and allowing everything to fall away that was going to fall away. And continue to believe that everything I was saying about my relationship with money was true. Continue to believe that everything I was saying about I was a 6-figure earner, I'd make 100,000 plus a year, was true. I had to stick in that regardless of what it felt like. That right there is something I continue to do to this day. Now I don't put a dollar amount on it. Now I say something, usually it depends on the day, but the amount of money I'm able to earn is limitless. There is no limit to the amount of money I am able to earn. There is no limit to the amount of money that I have in my account. My account grows and increases consistently. Those sorts of things, right? I don't want to put a limit on it, because I also learned then it's like as soon as I hit 100,000, I realized like, oh, okay, that's cool. Now let me see what I can get to now. What's my next level, right? Abundant, when the psychic told me I need an exorcism, girl, fuck that psychic. But I feel it's negative thoughts, and I finally got a handle on it. Listen, I do spiritual baths. Let me tell y'all. Y'all know I'm spiritual. I'm a medium. I don't do readings, but just am. I do spiritual baths because I believe in Native American traditions, African traditions of releasing negative energies, not because there's a spiritual entity attached to you. As soon as people tell you that, first off, did they try to sell you something? And as soon as people try to sell you something, you already know what's up. I sage myself consistently, and I do spiritual baths with me some Florida water. Probably like, not as much as I used to, but probably like once every 6 months now. I like spiritual baths to just release off dead energy, but I no longer even believe in that thing in that same way, right? I think that our negative energies is what we need exercise, our negative beliefs, our negative thought processes. And when you do that, like nothing can attach to a whole being anyway. Nothing can attach to a person who understands who's the God in them. So when you really get clear and you get aligned with the God in you, there's no kind of entity that can attach to you anyway. Yeah, no, girl. I try not to curse on YouTube. I really try not to curse on YouTube. So, but girl, take my hand. That's how I feel about it. I don't know if you're a woman or not. I'm saying, girl, listen, if you're not, I'm sorry. But that's number one. What time is it, y'all? Because y'all know this kid gonna come out of school in a little bit. Won't they sell you? They will definitely try to sell something to you. Okay, so next. First is speaking positively over my life, even when it looked like things were falling apart. I stayed focused on the fact that I was a six-figure earner. I stayed focused on that regardless of how it looked like things were falling apart. And I'm going to be really, really honest with you. Now that I am like over it, you know, when you outside of something happening, I look back, I realize I was not in the valley long at all. It felt like it was long because my hand was to the fire. It felt like it was long because I was in the midst of it. But now I'm out of it. I'm like, God, I really be out here talking like I went through this long, hard time. It wasn't that long. It just feels hard. It just feels hard. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It just feels hard. So that was number one. I stayed in that mindset. But when I went to shift from six figures to $1 million, I had to go a little bit deeper than that. And the first thing I had to say was, who is the Stephanie that is making $1 million? Who is she? How does she think? What does she do? How does she think? What does she do? And I literally had to start sitting every day being her. Like, not necessarily doing anything. Not necessarily like, if you want to do Neville Goddard's technique, fine. But I find that Neville Goddard's technique is great when you want something specific. But I didn't want just $1 million. I wanted a certain life to go with that. And so I literally sat and almost conjured up the energy of this version of Stephanie that was $1 million earning entrepreneur. I was very clear. I wanted to be $1 million earning entrepreneur. I didn't want to be $1 million earner working for nobody else. I wanted to be $1 million earning entrepreneur. And I sat with what that looked like. For me, the vision was very similar to the six-figure one until I made six figures and realized I needed more to do what I wanted to do. But it was me being able to freely travel the world. Travel has always been really important to me. I wanted to show my son the world. I remember getting pregnant and people telling me, oh, you're a single parent, you'll never be able to travel now. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna show y'all you are a lie. You are a lie. You are a lie. And so that was really, really important to me. Get the name of that school out of there. That was really, really important to me to be able to travel a ton. It was important to me to have clients who are coming to live events and we're taking pictures together and I'm able to showcase things to them and take them out to dinner and they're telling me how I've helped them change their life. So I started hearing them say those things. I wasn't really even focused on the $1 million. I was literally focused on her, that Stephanie, the work that she did. That's when, like, naturally after focusing on that, I started doing live streams more. I started showing up more on live streams over on Facebook. You guys, I'm Stephanie Sinclair over on Facebook. It's it's just Stephanie Sinclair. I think the link is facebook.com/The Frequency Fix, but Stephanie Sinclair bring me up as well. But I literally had to sit with who Stephanie is. Yep, absolutely. 4 cheese pasta, do same thing for body healing. So what you want to do is sit with, what does a healed body feel like? What is that thing, right? And sit in that energy. Same thing applies. I just talk about money a lot just because that tends to be my practice. And like I said, that's what we're teaching inside of the school this month. I'm doing a workshop. Y'all, let me tell you, it's so funny. The workshop is called Power Couple. I like the craziest names. It's called Power Couple, You Plus Money. And you and money, you are a couple. You're a power couple. You can accomplish a lot with money. Be sick and find out how much medicine costs and find out that you need that good dollar in order to pay for your medication. You know what I'm saying? Remember, we talked about love being expressed. It takes money to express love fully, right? You know, keeping a roof over your head, all those sorts of things. So yes, it absolutely applies to healing. I was a multimillionaire and lost it all. Now I'm struggling living in the past. I'm now having a hard time living in the present. No, you're not. Literally, because let me tell you, I've gone from $1 million to almost nothing and back to $1 million again in like 2-3 months. It's just money. You're not struggling. So first, take that out of your vocabulary that you're struggling. So that's number one. You are absolutely not struggling. Everything is moving the way it's supposed to. Number two, why are you living in the past about being a millionaire when you can be a millionaire again? Maybe this is an opportunity for you not to just make 1 million, but for you to make 5 million, or for you to make 10 million, or for you to make 20 million. What does this new life look like? What was it about your first few millions that wasn't really aligning with you well? I think about the first million I made, and though I was loving my business, honestly, I like what I do. I literally worked a lot. All focus on just coaching, that one thing. Now I'm able to have my coaching, my tea company. I'm building a farm. Like, I'm able to live in a different way. I like having money in this space so much better. So after that money started to wane out and I wasn't exactly happy over there, and I did it again, I'm happier in this space. What if you decided to look at that as an opportunity for you to build your millions again from a happy space, for you to build your millions again from a space that fully is aligned with who it is your soul is being called to be right now in that moment? What if you choose to look at that differently? Let me see what. Yeah. That's how I want you to think about that. Other than changing your thoughts, are there other life changes that you had to make? Like, people, well, first off, that's what I was going to get to, which I think I need to hurry up. Is it almost 3:30? Let me see what time it is. It's 3:13. Okay, I'm hurry up. So here's the thing. What I just told you is a game changer. I know it seems like it's not, but changing your thoughts automatically will change the other things. If you sit in who am I as a millionaire, oh, you go naturally look around you and know the friends that you don't need to deal with no more, the family you don't need to deal with anymore. So that's why you don't see me touching on those things a lot. Because if you are that person, you already know this person ain't gonna help me get where I need to be. Not even help you, but this person isn't going to align with me there. There are several people who I was connected with, hell, a year ago, 2 years, my first million, my first 2 million. But what I knew is they were not meant. They were with that Stephanie who was making money and flexing and flossing, but wasn't growing her money. They weren't ready for wealthy Stephanie. They was ready for rich Stephanie. That's the difference between rich and wealthy. See, rich, you can lose. Rich, a million you can have today and gone tomorrow. Wealthy, you go have that million, you go send that money off and you go say, hey, work for me. And baby, when you come back, bring me some more of you with you. We gonna have a money orgy, okay? When you wealthy, you have a money orgy. Your money go off, your money make money, and your money bring more money back with you. That's what happens when you wealthy. See, those people, they wanted the trappings. They was happy to ride in a Mercedes. They was happy to ride in the BMW. They was happy for that kind of stuff. But if you can't flex and floss, are they still as happy? Right? I don't even talk about things that I have anymore. I still have things. Shit, I'm sitting in the Mercedes right now as we speak. Who gives a damn? You want to know what I do care about? The fact that I'm doing deeper work in the world. The fact that I literally donate money every single month to different organizations. The fact that I am building a legacy for my kid and my kids' kids. The fact that my family has a vacation. Nobody in my family is able to say we have a vacation home, more or less than we got a vacation home in Italy. I'm happy for that. I'm happy to teach my child about micro farming, organic farming, buying land. I'm happy to teach my kid about all of those things. My idea of money has shifted, and it's some people who don't want to go on that because they want to be hood rich. They want to be rich. I don't have an interest in that. Wealthy is where I desire to be. It's people who go be with you on one level, and as soon as you sit with that new version of you, you're going to be like, they're not ready for this next level. They still here. They still babies, and that's fine. People always have, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's friends who will never, their mentality will never tell them they can make 100,000, and that's fine. Nothing is wrong with that. But I don't necessarily know if we can go on this journey, because I have people or had people that as soon as I start saying, I really want to buy, because before I bought my house in Italy, I really wanted to buy my house in France. And I was like, I think I might buy a house in southern France. It's like, in France. It's like, yeah. And this was like the second or third time they did that, because let me tell y'all something. When I got the difference between rich and wealthy, it was probably like 3 years ago. I think I've done so much money work within myself around relationship with money. There's really not an amount of money that feels large to me. I don't think $1 billion is large. I don't have it. I haven't made it yet. But I don't think I mean, it's $1 billion. It's just money. I think everything's available to me. I don't feel the same way about money. It's just a number, right? So sometimes, though, the problem with that is, is sometimes your subconscious, your spiritual can move quicker than the physical. And so, like, a few years ago, it was a property I wanted to buy, and it was several $1 million. And I believe in paying cash for stuff, right? And I was so distraught. It was only $6 million, y'all. It wasn't even like it was a lot. It was like for several acres. It was like a whole zhush. And I was like, okay, I probably could do like $1 million. But like, maybe if I can come up with some friends, maybe 5 more friends that come up with $1 million. And I tried everything in the world to work that deal out. And I was like, girl, you don't even have no friends that got $1 million to put into this deal. And I remember saying to her, girl, I feel a way because I don't have the money for this project. And she was like, And I was like, why you say like that? She was like, you talking about buying a $6 million house and people can't buy a $60,000 house. I said, yeah, that's people, but I'm saying this is a project. It was like a whole project, y'all. It was like a whole it was in the Berkshires. So if you know anything about New York, you already know going up that way, like, it was gonna be pricey. It was in the Berkshires. It was several acres. It was multiple cabins. It was like it was almost like I can't think of what you call it, like a timeshare almost. People had their own summer cabins up there, and it had been in the family since the 1800s, and they were selling it. And honestly, it was $6 million was a steal for it, to be honest, for what it was. But I remember her saying, like, it's $6 million. What made you think you could buy it? And I was like, oh, girl, have you met me? What you mean? What made me think I could buy it? Hell, I didn't know I had a limitation. You think I got one? I was like, oh, this ain't gonna work, boo. This ain't gonna work because you put limitations on me. In your head, you like, it's out of reach for me. In my head, I was like, why in the hell I can't afford this? We having two whole different thought processes. So what I'm saying is, when you start sitting with that version of you that can do the things that you desire, to have what you desire, them friends show themselves, and you instantly be like, yeah, this probably relationship with money. And I called my home girl, and we'll coach each other through stuff. And she said, all right, boo, all right, how much money would it take for you to feel comfortable dropping $6 million? I said, now, you know me, I could have $6,500,000 and I would drop $6 million on the investment. Honestly, I could have had $6 million even, and I would have dropped. But that's how I roll, by the way. I don't make decisions based on money, meaning if I just got $6 million and it cost $6 million, I go for broke because it's just money. I can get some more. Now that's something I've learned that's really worked, because I don't believe in making my decisions based on money. But she helped coach me through that, and I was like, for me to do it and not, like, for it not to affect me. And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, I'm gonna say that needs to be about 10%. If I had $60 million, I wouldn't care about 6. If I had 20 million, I would care about 6. That's almost half. If I had 30 million, I would care about 6. But for real, when you get up to like 50 and 60, it's like, okay, I can let 6 million go. And so that's when I was like, okay, that was before I started the tea company. I was like, listen, I need to learn how to create real wealth. And so I set an intention with my higher self, like, hey, I need to discover, what does that look like? How do people create real wealth? You know, at one point I thought $1 million was a lot. Then I thought 2 million was a lot, and then 3. But how is it that people go out? And where do you get the money from to drop 6 million? I just put it out there. I started thinking like that, and the doors started opening, and the opportunities started opening, and it got shown to me that you acquire this typically by getting a sellable business. And I was like, oh, and then next thing I know, the opportunity came for me to start the tea company. That's the long story short of that. But the answer to your question about like friends and stuff, when you sit in who is it that makes this amount of money, when you sit in that, you already know what need to be cut off. You might even need to cut some family members off. It's probably somebody you need to quit laying up with. It's a lot happening there. And it creates its own challenges. It definitely creates. It's relationships I've been in, and they don't like the way I move with money. I remember my ex-fiance, for my 37th birthday, it popped up in like the Facebook memories. I was in Miami. My ex-fiance lived in Miami. And it popped up because I was headed to Miami with him for my birthday. But I would do stuff like it'll be a Sunday and I'd be like, you know what? I think I want to go to Paris tomorrow. He worked for the FBI. He couldn't flow like that. He couldn't move like that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm going to Paris tomorrow. I called my home girl, you want to go to Paris tomorrow? I found some tickets. You want to go? That's how I move. You have to find people who equally yoke. People think of that as terms of like romantic relationships, but that's true for romantic relationships, friendships, all sorts of connections. Listen, we need to be on the same path. You might not be where I am, or I might not be where you are, but we need to all be going the same trajectory. We all need to be going forward. We all need to know our manifestation power. We all need to be moving in that way. And if we not, baby, we can't connect. So y'all already know I got rid of him shortly after my birthday. You already know that happened, but I enjoyed my birthday. I had a nice little birthday. He the only one out of school. I'm like, he the only one skipping out, because I was like, he's at 3:30 because I'm not thinking with y'all when my little baby get ready to come out here. Anyway, so yeah, that's the answer to the question. I feel like I'm having to do a two-parter because I don't really have time to finish now because I go into these long ass tangents. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Hopefully you enjoyed them. But yes, so you really have to, when you shift from 100,000 to 1 million, you have to sit into, who is this person? How do they think? How do they speak? Where do they go? How do they eat? You guys can clearly tell when you are talking to the Stephanie who's in business mode, or when I get super comfortable, because then extra Southern girl comes out. You know, you can clearly tell. I have $1 million Stephanie, and I have Stephanie from Birmingham. I have Stephanie that hang out. You have both versions of me. But when I'm in that mode, who is that Stephanie that makes $1 million? Who is that Stephanie who runs these amazingly successful companies? Who is that Stephanie who has vacation property? Who is that Stephanie who is just absolutely happy and successful? I don't do just successful. I think happy is important in that. I've had money and not been happy. Money is never the problem. It's about you. People always try to, people like, rich people ain't happy too. You just want to be mad with money so bad because you ain't got none. That's more to do with them and nothing to do with money. Let's not vilify the money. Money is just energy. We're not going to vilify the money. That's dumb. People love to say that. It's just dumb as hell. Okay? We're not going to vilify it. So I had to really sit with, who am I? And then in every moment of the day, work to be that. So that meant I had to make decisions like $1 million earning Stephanie. What does that mean? I had to quit trying to be a solopreneur. I had to quit being a person that didn't want to hire an assistant. Then it was like, oh, I don't have the money to hire an assistant. Well, you will never have the money to hire an assistant if you don't hire the assistant. So I hired an assistant who started out working 4 hours a week with me. It was only $20 an hour. She was part-time. She took a bunch of clients. So it's not like, you know, it was hard for her to do it. Easy peasy, $80. Then I was able to raise my budget. And the more I worked with somebody, the more I was able to afford to work with somebody. So I literally started making decisions like the Stephanie that had the money before Stephanie had the money. I started having those conversations. I continued to watch TV shows and things that inspire. Like I'm saying we, like y'all know, I was talking to one of my friends the other night. We both love like beach house. Is it beach properties, Hamptons, the Hampton beach properties, whatever the name of it is, but it's on Netflix about properties in the Hamptons. So I have several friends in the Hamptons. I hang out in the Hamptons all the time, thanks to my PR agency who introduced me to some people, and I've developed relationships back from 15. I love being in the Hamptons. It's nothing but money. It's hella inspiring, and it makes me remember, okay, this is possible. Like, this is possible to live this kind of life of the mega rich, where houses going for 20 million, 30 million, 50 million. Now, the truth is that's not necessarily my goal, but to be able to, you know, I always want to be able to do whatever it is I want to do, right? Coastal properties are beautiful. And money is said frequently presumed to be aligned with evil. It's not true at all. And the only people who ever tell you that is people who don't have any money. People like to vilify things that they don't have. They love to. I be like, oh, did that make you feel good? It did. All right, well, I'm going to be evil with these dollars. Okay? Yeah. So, like, I have to make sure I constantly keep myself in the energy of what it is I desire, right? And that's how you shift into it. I'm going to do a different part because I probably really need to go. These kids are going to be out in any second now. I'm pretty positive because when I looked, it said 3:13. So for those who missed it, yeah, it's 3:26. So for those who missed it, I My birthday is Sunday, and my friends are surprising me with the weekend. I have no idea what we're doing. They just said I needed to have my bags packed by 6:30. I'm not packed at all. I ain't even a little bit of packed. So I got to get my baby from school, go home, get packed, pull myself together for 6:30. And so that's where I'm going to be. I am going to do a part 2 to this. I try not to get too off. I know it's so hard for people watching a replay because they're like, oh my gosh, she rambled. That's another note. Let me say this. Here's the ramble. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go for real. When you guys get on people posts and you be like, the live starts at 4 minutes and 17 seconds, you'll be messing up your blessings and other people's blessings. I'm going to tell you something. This is not to sound arrogant. This is not to sound cocky, but call it what it is. But everything comes out my mouth has power. Even me talking about anything, I try not to have conversations that's meaningless. And so I don't care if it took me 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes to get into the content. Don't mess up other people's blessings because their attention span is 2 minutes long. And that's why they have trouble manifesting, because their attention span is that of a microwave oven dinner, and they wonder why they can't get what they want. People need to learn to hang in there to get the lesson and the blessing therein. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed today. And if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I might post a little bit this weekend. And to those of you who follow me over on my business pages with my business stuff, and you join the school, the Quantum School, the School of Quantum Living, it closes tomorrow. And so since I probably won't be online, I'm going to say now, welcome. I'm glad to have you inside of the school. And to those of you who are new subbing here, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Be sure to spread it. If you haven't seen, let me say this. If you haven't watched the Faith series, it's so good. I'm not just saying it because I did it, but I think it's life-changing, especially if you came from a religious background at all. It's so good. All right. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes, and I'll see you soon. Bye.